Hey again guys, and welcome back. As you saw from the video title, I'm sure, I've got a new device here. So let's open it up. Oh, that's a pretty nice packaging. Kind of an unassuming box. This is, there we go. Starting to, you guys can understand what it is now. This is a USB oscilloscope, and sorry about the reflection. I'm going through some lighting changes. I want to try to make the channel better. I just don't know how with my current setup, so I'm working on it. So this is one change, so the lighting here is less harsh, but it's still there. But anyways, this is a USB oscilloscope. This is the Hantek 6022be. It is a 20 megahertz, 48 meg sample per second oscilloscope. And the reason I got this is because I love my Rigol DS1054Z, but I hate having to capture footage from it. It's really not working out for me. Having a second camera pointed to the scope and have it on an arm and all sorts of weird stuff going on, I'm not a fan. So I'd much rather use OBS and my computer to try to capture scope signals. And so that's why I have this, and I specifically bought it off Amazon because it was a few dollars cheaper than eBay, and also if it's complete garbage I can send it back. It's a lot easier to send stuff back on Amazon than on eBay, and honestly I pay for that privilege as a Prime member. So what do we have in the box? Well, we have some probes. Now these probes, if they're garbage, that's not the end of the world because they are replaceable. Okay, I do have two. So they come with these different colored collars here in order to differentiate one and the two. Times 1 and times 10 has a little hooky. Ooh, that feels very cheap. Can you hear this? Yeah, not too much of a fan of that, but I mean, we'll have to try them to see how they are. A little, ooh, that was crunchy. Ground pin. You usually can pull these off and then you get a straight pokey bit. Yep. And then you have the ground usually included, not included in this case. Very interesting. But anyways, this will just finish in a standard BNC. So that's the probe. Got a USB cable. I think the website says 2.0. So let's see. Yeah, 4 conductors in there, if you can see. So that's USB 2.0. Seems like there's a dual USB. So on one side there's a single USB connector, and on the other side there's dual. Nope, sorry, there's dual on one side and the printer port on the other. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but they're both USB 2. I'll have to check the instructions. Got the other probe, exactly the same, and the main unit. There we go. So this is a 2-channel scope, which is nice. I like 2-channel because it allows me to compare. I would rather a 4-channel, but this here was $80 some Canadian, so that's not too bad. Ooh, fancy USB XI, and this case is actually either dimpled by purpose or actually dented. Okay, USB XI, I don't know what it is. USB-G, USB-Shi, I don't know. It looks like it has these feet, so you can stand it up this way, and also it's raised up here and the little dimples there, so you can put it down this way. If you see online, if they're light gray, if they're silver, That's actually the old version. These dark gunmetal ones should be the new versions of these. So yeah, there's nothing too special there. There is a 1 kilohertz 2 volt peak to peak test signal and a ground there. And there it is, 48 meg samples per second, 6022be. So before I plug this in, I'm going to go to Hantek's website and download their software, because apparently they just released Windows 10 drivers for these things, and so you don't have to run unsigned, unverified drivers. So let's go do that. So let's see just how difficult it is to get these drivers. Alright, their website seems legit. Let's see, download drivers. There, right here. The last one down. Let's download that. It's a zip file. Okay, should be in here. Yeah, there it is. There we go. Update driver. Interesting. Driver. Oh boy, where the heck am I going to put that? Okay, so let's try to plug it in and see what happens. And then if it requires an update to the driver, we're going to use one of these things. Something seems to be installing. Let's see what this says. Okay, gonna go to update the driver. Alright, so let's check this out. Unknown device. Browse my computer. I'll go find the downloads. Install. Close. I think we're good. Yeah, alright. So now we should be able to install their stuff. Application software, maybe? Give this a second to finish downloading. I'm gonna set this up. This is an old school installer. Okay. Not sure what happened there. Oh, there's the application. Oh, this looks old as shit. Looks like we have both channels on. Let's see. Can turn on and off channel 1 and 2. That's nice. Up to 5 volts per division. Very nice. Triggering modes. Oh, there's a trigger. Oh, you can move it with the mouse. Very nice. Okay. Well, I guess I should go plug something in and we'll get to see what happens. I have both USBs plugged into a USB 3 hub, an unpowered one. Seems to be working. But let's see if I can plug this into the 1 kilohertz 2 volt peak to peak test signal. So plugged in there. Let's go see what happens on the computer side. So this is what we're greeted with here. I've got, all right, let's check. So we got 1 volt here. I wonder if I can offset, like what's this do? Oh, okay, that changes the volts per division. I want to move, oh, here we go. I can move channel 1 down like this. Well, that's pretty nice. All right, so let's change the 500 volts, millivolts per division. I'm going to put this down at the level of 2 here, and I'm going to grab my trigger, which is down here, put it up here. Ooh, very nice. Now, how do you move the trigger kind of left and right? I want to go more sort of that way, because I want my trigger in the middle here. This is, by the way, I haven't read any instructions. I'm just, so cursors, vectors, dots. I can change it to dots. Ooh, there's your sample points. Reference, some math, some cursors. Oh, we can pause the waveform. You see, that's not a lot of samples, though. If I'm being honest, it's not a lot of samples. Let's see. We could do an intensity. Oh, it's just changing the intensity of what it looks like. It's not that great. Trigger mode, sweep, source, rise and fall. That's good. Can change the volts per division in the invert the signal. Time per division. Yeah, the time base, you do adjust that over here, I guess. No, not really. Can you resize? Okay, you can resize the window, which is nice. Yeah, I don't know how to move. Oh, you just click and drag, so you can move your triggering point right in the middle there. Oh, there we go. That's okay. That's pretty good. Let's see if we can zoom this in even more. Is there a... Okay, let's turn off channel 2 here. Don't need that. Wonder if there's a vernier scale. Where is my trigger? Yeah, I think this. I think we're actually peaking here. I think what's happening is we're actually above. We can't go 200 millivolts. And now our trigger, for some reason, is in negative slope. Why is it triggering on? Well, that's weird. Put your scope in ×1 or ×10 so you get the values to react to that. Okay. Actually, what is my scope in right now? Okay, it was in ×1 mode. Okay, so I can move the waveform back and forth. Let's change the time base. And the sample rate is 1 megahertz. It's not that great, right? You gotta go up here to change the time per division. There we go. It's a pretty stable waveform. Okay, that's nice. Let's check some cursors. Okay, there's a delta. Can you put another cursor? Oh, there we go. Click and drag. Okay, so I can check all the way to down here. So what do we have? 1 kilohertz. Yeah, 2.04 volts, so about 2 volts peak to peak. Could move this one probably. Oh, you have to set your first one, and then your second one is relative to that. So go no. That, click and drag, grab it there. So yeah, we've got 1 kilohertz, 2 volts peak to peak. Cursor delta time is 993 microseconds if we're more exacting. probably be fine. I don't like the I think the horizontal should be some sort of scroll. Okay, double click to set, and then click and drag to grab the other one, I think. Oops, that's not even our full period. Be like to there. Yeah. Yeah, it seems to work. Let's try some different signals. Okay, have both recordings simultaneously now. So I've got my little function gen here. I think this one was unstable last time I used it, but I mean, whatever. Let's just see what happens. So I'm going to put it on the triangle wave. There we go. So we are getting a triangle wave on the scope. Let's see if we can, well, that's frequency. Alright, let's adjust the trigger. It is capturing it, but as you can see, the I think the sample rate is not very high. So it could be that I'm looking at it in bigger resolution than I would typically, but yeah, it's not fantastic. Let's see. Let's try a sine wave. Oh, clipping the sine wave there. Yeah, it looks like our, I'm going to go a little bit faster. Whoa, that looks crazy. So it looks like I need to change my time base. I'll go down a little bit. There we go. Well, it lost it. Whoop. Feels like it needs a second to acquire. Let me just change time base. There we go. Yeah, the triggering leaves a lot to be desired compared to the Rigol, but I do know that this function gen is a little bit unstable. But it is functioning. Another thing is this thing does not have an AC coupling, so if you can see that it's clearly sort of has a DC offset towards the top because the channel is actually towards the bottom. But yeah, it's okay. It doesn't it's nothing to write home about, but if I can, oh, I lost it like completely. If I can illustrate my point, what I'm trying to show you guys, easily, then that'll probably be worth it. So let me just try and set it up something different, maybe a PWM controller, and we'll see what we can see. Alright, have this little module based PWM controller going, and I have the scope going, and channel 1, it should give us roughly 50% duty cycle. So let's see what we get. Link the grounds now, and here we go. So yeah, you see it has some weird like drawing things that are going on there. You see it doesn't really like finish the wave. I think when there's a lot of noise on the line, it runs out of sample memory. I'm pretty certain that's what's going on there. It could be a bandwidth issue too. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it seems like. But it does seem like I can illustrate the point that it is about a 50% duty cycle, and if I increase the duty cycle, yeah, you can see there clearly the on time is growing compared to the off time, and same thing in reverse, duty cycle less. I can bring it back up. I have nice little spikes there, and then I can change the frequency, so we should be able to see more and more. Oh, is this as fast as it goes? Yeah, it is as fast as it goes. There we go. See fewer and fewer peaks on screen same time. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, so it is capable of doing it, but I think it runs out of memory bandwidth very quickly. I don't think there's that much, especially being a USB 2.0 scope. So I'm going to have to test this a little bit more. But for the meantime, this is it for the first look. So let me know what you think, if this Hantek is good enough, or should I invest a little bit more money. This was almost is about $85. I just checked on Amazon. Should I invest a little bit more money and get something a little bit more capable? I don't think I have the budget to spend on a picoscope, which would be the ideal, but you know, let me know what you think in the comments below. But if you're just looking for something to get off the ground, definitely this thing seems like a good purchase. Thanks for watching.